one question you can ask yourself, if our founding fathers were alive during this time, would they still be proud to say America is the greatest country in the world? Now, we have proved to be one of the greatest nations of our time, stuck together between the highs and our lows. We persisted to be the best nation in the world, and we set goals and we reached them. But what about now? America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. And even though many may disagree with my notion of America, it's okay because our generation of new scholars, us being students, really are the next generation that will take this, implement, and take it into consideration for the future. So you may be asking, who am I? Who am I to be saying that America is the greatest country in the world? America is not the greatest country in the world. Well, being that I'm very active in our political system, and the courses I've taken have given me the background check on the social, economic, and political aspects of our country when we started, it gives me the credibility for me to speak upon this topic. Now, I hope with the information I'll be giving you, it helps you introduce yourself and take action into realizing that you can see the decline in our country's reputation. Now I'll be going over 3 main points: science, power, and economic. To start off, we'll start with science, specifically the space race. According to history.com, the space race was between the United States and the Soviet Union in efforts to take supremacy in flight. Now, we as Americans were always second to the Russians, as the Russians were the first on October 4, 1957, for the first satellite, and on April 12th, they were the first person to put a man into orbit. But on July 16, 1969, America thrived, and we were the first people to put a man on the moon. So this declared that we won as a nation. Now, doesn't that feel good to present that we as a nation, we as Americans won the space race, we won Russia? But what about now? What does that say about now in the future? Well, according to NASA and the New York Times, in 2004, Bush ordered the cancellation of the shuttle program in 2010 that was later extended to 2011. But that program was later, it was ended because they were going to start a new program called Constellation. But in recent news, Obama felt that the program fell short, and instead of presiding with the Constellation program, he ended it and presented the space evolution to private industries. So what does that really say about our president's views on modern societies on science? It's saying that they really settled. They don't think that we won't have any innovations, so they're blowing it off and giving it to other private industries like SpaceX. But enough about the disappointment of science. Let's talk about power. One of the best ways you can display power as America is the atomic bomb. When we dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we say that we were one of the world's most powerful country and one of the world's most feared countries. And according to David Ropeek of the Rise of the Nuclear Fear, he states when he was young that I remember going to bed one night when I was 11, seriously afraid I would not be alive in the morning. This is the fear that we put into other people's mentalities. We were putting fear into other people. We're telling that we're the most powerful country during that time. And even in propaganda, you can see that thank God, the atomic bomb, power, power, power. It just shows that we were very excited to be Americans during this time. We were excited to show that we were free. We were excited to show that we were powerful. But what about now? What about our military perspectives in the norm? Well, according to Business Insider Jeremy Blender, he states that America is only number one in one thing, the world's defense budget, meaning that we have the most economic prosperity, we have the most money. But he also states that Russia, China, and North Korea are not that far behind. Russia's economy, its budget defense, is military spending has increased almost a third in 2008, almost a 44% growth. And China's number one in military personnel. And in recent news with North Korea having nuclear threats, New York Times declares that North Korea has conducted 3 nuclear tests. So that's just stating that even though we have the greatest budget in our nation, there's other countries that are slowly making its rise to the top. But to keep the flow going on, let's more talk about the economic side of our country. According to Eric Horner, author of Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death, during the market revolution of our times, it was a time where our economy was growing. During the market revolution, we saw a lot of innovations, like the steamboat, the production line that led to the modern workforce, the 8-hour shifts, the clocks, and then And then that led onto more of a capitalistic mentality in the now. We went from being a proud country of our economy, thriving from our home products, being that we made things at home, to now taking our production lines to countries, other countries to save money in the long run. But in the long run, kind of screwed our economy up because even according to, I'm not the only one that thinks that our economy has derived from what it once was. According to Shlomo Sprung of the Business Insider, that's his Instagram picture, America ranks 13th in starting the business, US ranks 20th in international trade, and according to the World Fact Book, the United States ranks 169 out of 216 countries in our economy growth. What's that stating? Our economy isn't even as great as it used to be, but that doesn't say it can change. America once was the greatest country as we know it, but now, if you think about it politically, economically, with sciences, and through power, militia, we really see that our economy has derived from what it once used to be. But what does that say now? Like, even though we're college students, we're the next generation, are you really gonna let your country down and continue this downfall that we have between our economy, political and social dynamics, or are you gonna take a stand and change that? And that's it. Don't name me.